so much light, so much love, so much me, so much you, so much good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, however you are, here we are. Take a deep breath, exhale, you're in the right place. To take a moment to be centered and present, grounded. Hi, Lisa. How's Tuscany today? Hi, Cynthia. Just putting the rest of the day before this behind us. Whatever's come before this moment. The reason whenever we start the broadcast of the episode, hello Tracy, and I always say, put aside whatever's come before this moment, this or that, the other thing, is because the truth is nothing's ever happened before this moment. Nothing has ever come before this moment. That's why I say that. So anything that's come before this moment, any kind of stress in the workplace or family or the roadways, just taking some space to let it all go now. Hi, Latana. And be present here together. And when we're present here together, there's a resonant field that comes into being through our shared sense of presence, through our shared attention and awareness together, that creates an attunement and brings in an intelligence that's exponentially more powerful than would otherwise be the case when we're lost in our own tiny little brains and hearts. There's an electromagnetic frequency of the heart that attunes and synchronizes and allows the universal creative intelligence to move through us as clear channels, collective consciousness. Yes, Lisa. Cynthia says, a dear friend committed suicide last Thursday. I'm glad to be able to listen to you today. Really glad you're here, Cynthia. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions related to what you're moving through, happy to go into it today. So in this clear channel, the intelligence can move through us, and that's when the magic and the miracles and the insights and the epiphanies and the shifts in consciousness and the awakenings and the opportunities to open our hearts to a more expansive sense of self comes into being. Not because we as an individual are great, though that's true also, but because we as an individual are opening to the greatness, to the universal creative intelligence, also known as God, to move through us. So in our emptiness, in our stillness inside, in our quietude inside, in our presence, in our receptivity, this intelligence, this creative energy that's connected to the source can move through us. Hi, Heather. And sometimes it happens when we hit what's called rock bottom. So you think that you're in control, your ego's in control, and you want it to go a certain way, and you're trying to manipulate things and shift things and resist certain things and push other things and make things happen a certain way. And there comes a point where it's just not working, right? It's just not working anymore. And you just cannot do it anymore. You just absolutely can't do it anymore. And you break. And your heart breaks, and your brain breaks, and your body breaks, and everything breaks. And when you break, when the heart breaks, so the heart opens. And there's an opportunity when we hit that point where we feel like we can't do it anymore, we're not in control anymore. When we hit these points in our lives, that's the point where there's an openness for this intelligence to enter and to guide us and to let go, so to speak, for this larger love to guide us and lead us. Not from a place of passivity or unconsciousness, but from a higher space of consciousness, from a higher space of awareness, from a higher space of intentionality, but not the intentionality of the ego, an intentionality of God's Spirit moving through us as clear, open channels in each and every moment. Then there's a fire that's guiding us, that's moving us, that's so much larger, so much more beautiful, so much more powerful than the egoic sense of self and the egoic sense of self-fulfillment. Now it's for not the illusionary sense of an egoic sense of a separate self, but for the whole. Everything's for the good of the whole, for the good of the universe, and the energy that moves through us is incredible. This vastness, this aliveness, this vitality, and this depth of peace, this foundation of peace. Now we're living for a higher, deeper sense of purpose, for the ultimate sense of meaning and purpose and inspiration, from the deepest call of our hearts, sharing our greatest gifts with the world for the highest benefit of all beings. And we know why we're alive. The meaning of life is being lived each and every moment. The meaning of life is to live it, to give ourselves fully, wholly, completely to this universe, to this world, to our brothers and sisters, to this planet, to this Earth, galaxy, each and every moment. In other words, you're not holding anything back. This is the key. You're giving everything you have, not from a space of effort, not from a space of force, not from a space of struggle, but from a space of being an open, clear channel. So it's a paradox. In being empty, the fullness of creation moves through you in each and every moment. This is what it means to be what's been pointed to as being awakened, being enlightened, being self-realized, being self-actualized. still learning and growing as a human being every day, still from this depth of humility, this space of humility, this space of not knowing, which allows this intelligence to enter you and move you and animate you. The awareness comes into being that allows this larger love to move you, to be born again. And one other important point is you, me, we are all a unique expression of the divine in each and every moment. So other people can inspire us. I can inspire you. Other people can open us to new insights, to new possibilities, to new awakenings in consciousness. But we are each a unique expression. So there's no cookie cutter mode, right? There's no box to fit into. There's not even a circle to fit into or a triangle. There's nothing to fit into. So you're not trying to be like anybody else. You're not trying to be spiritual. You're not trying to be holy. You're not trying to be anything. And then the unique flower that is you can bloom, can shine. Your fragrance can be smelt. Because there's no one else like you. There's no one else that's here to share the unique way that you're here to share the divine. The divine expression that is you. So it's the ultimate sense of being yourself. Right? You hear that term a lot, like be yourself. Oh, just be yourself, be yourself. What does that mean? Any way you try to be yourself is not yourself. Any way you look to try to be more yourself is not yourself. But it's when there's this emptiness, this surrender, this letting go, these are all just terms and words that are pointers to something that's beyond words, that transcends thought, transcends mind, transcends concept, transcends ideology, transcends all that is and includes it. And there's a fullness of being that's present, that has no sense of lack. So there's tremendous movement, there's a tremendous sense of creation, creative energy that moves through, not anymore from a sense of lack, from a sense of overflowing, from a sense of creation as a life artist. God has no sense of lack. God is the fullness of being that creates, the source of creation. So to become one with that source of creation is to have no sense of lack. And to be a creative being, to move from being a consumer in this paradigm that we're in right now, to being a creative being. Which is the essence and truth of who we are. From this larger love for the highest benefit of all beings, and the divine, pure, powerful sense of purpose and inspiration that one wakes up every day, the fire burning inside that one wakes up every day when there's this feeling of being aligned in this manner. And this is the movement that we're all a part of. All of us who are tuning in right now, all of you who are tuning in right now are part of this movement. Otherwise, you wouldn't be hearing these words. So it's so exciting to be a part of this together, to be a part of this evolving, growing community together, to be awakening to this consciousness together on this planet in this time, and to be a part of this divine, creative play together. Don't you agree? Anybody have any questions or comments? Nina agrees. Hi, Carmen. Hello, Martin. And then the being together is enough. We can sit in the perfection of silence without feeling like it's something that's wrong, or we have to say something. This is the shift in relating too, where we can be with those we love, our brothers and sisters, and be in this depth of silence together, in the fullness, pureness of being beyond words. And being together is enough. We're not talking just to avoid truly being together in a space of intimate communion. The indigenous people have a much better sense of this. If you ever spend time with indigenous people, they can sit in silence together for 20, 30 minutes, just being together, say a couple words if they arise, and then there's communication beyond the words, what we would call telepathy or psychic communication, right? Because there's an attunement, there's a presence. Without the actually, I'm not going to tell you without, just feel it beyond the words. So we'll be in this space more and more together. I use a lot of words here because that's where people think important things are happening, and that's where they think that they're getting information and knowledge and all of that. But as you attune more, you'll be able to feel more beyond the words, right? That's where the real communion is happening, communication is happening. What was I listening to, Lisa? What do you mean by that question? Just in this deep sense of being today. Oh, earphones. Um, I'm listening. What am I listening to? Oh, because of the mic. That's why. That's why I have these in. Like, why do I have these things in? So I'm not hearing anything, but I'm using the microphone today to talk. Thank you, Carmen. I really appreciate that. I think it's a really exciting new medium to share. Don't you guys agree? Like this live. There's a lot of things I don't like about Facebook. I've shared that a bit in the past, and I can share more about that. I'm happy to say all the things I don't like about Facebook and the things that they're doing. However, this is really sweet, isn't it? To be able to just share live like this and get instant feedback, and it's a beautiful new medium that there's a lot of potential in how it can be used, and we're still exploring it together. I'm exploring it, and I feel like I'm using it in a way that I don't know that many other people are using it yet, but it's exciting. Yeah, I'm always secretly rocking out, but it's like internal music. Yeah, it feels very intimate. Exactly, I agree with that, and there's a feeling of aliveness. It's not something that's. I think what's happening is we're moving beyond. Things used to be so pre-packaged. Your TV show was something that was made 6 months ago and it was all pre-planned, and you're watching something that's already all scripted, and the camera shots and the editing, and we're moving into a space that's much more alive and transparent and genuine and authentic, and it's really beautiful, to be sharing in this way beyond the this whole kind of pre-packaged entertainment box of the way things used to be. And I'm really noticing this sense of being more comfortable in the silence together. Thank you, Heather, for that testimonial. I did a personal session with Heather in New Jersey a few weeks ago, and she's expressing how that was beneficial for her. Thank you very much. So, yeah, we can be more in the silence together. Yeah, selectivity, because there's so much there's so many things out there, Lisa. There's so many, like, there's more and more and more. So selectivity is, like, to me, it's just being conscious. Carmen says, I appreciate hearing my beliefs and feelings echoed in your episodes. It's really important to have that sense of community that's on the same path, that's on the same journey we are, like-hearted community, to reaffirm, because there's so many things in the world that are pointing us in the other direction, and we're kind of going against the grain. The mass media and all this stuff is giving us a different, let's just say, giving us something different. So it's important to get clear what your intention is, who you are, where you resonate, and have a community that supports you. Community in person, in the 3D, is the best, which is why I create spaces for people to come together in person, and many of you have come together in person with me and will come together in person, and we'll be going more and more into that space together. But this is a great space too, this online opportunity to connect people around the world who are on this same path together. Just energetically, you can feel the support, and you can feel the connection and the communion, and that confirmation that you're not alone, that you're on this path with this global, worldwide community. That's really valuable. Hi, Sylvia. All is so well. So well. Amidst whatever the emotion that's present, whatever the feeling is present, whatever the experience that's happening, whatever the thoughts that are arising, there's a infinite space in which everything arises and falls, and whatever's appearing or disappearing, arising or falling, this infinite space, which is the essence of who we are, is so well, and is untouched, is untainted by anything in the world of form that arises. Everything that arises in the world of form is a reflection of the one divine infinite light, which is you, and is so well. Ever present. Really appreciate sharing this space with all of you. Feel tremendous gratitude. Wishing you a beautiful weekend. Staying present is the key, the foundation, Heather. Everything starts from being present. Everything starts from being present. Because this is where it's happening. So it always comes back to being present, and everything else emanates from there, which is here. So what I want you to explore, Heather, is how life is always changing, that which is always changing, and also to look for and notice that which is never changing and that which is unchanging, that which we could call formless. So it feels like a good breakthrough today. I felt this deeper sense of like just being able to be together and be present together, and people being able to stay with the presence or appreciate the presence beyond the words and the inherent transmission in this space together. So exciting, grateful, gratitude for being here, for all that's to come. Let's share this presence with whoever we come in contact today. The rest of the day, the rest of the weekend, that we share this natural, organic sense of presence, this infinite essence of who we are. And yeah, thank you, Carmen, Heather, Cynthia, Tracy, Lisa, Sylvia, everybody. Love you so much. See you in the next now. Check the links out to dive in deeper. If you make a donation, it's able to be shared with more people. See you in the next now.